because of its repetitive and recurrent nature, it seems to be very difficult. The degree of the difficulty is extremely variable. What is difficult for one is not difficult for someone else. So these difficulties or obstacles or these patterns are totally individualistic in nature. 1%, rather less than 1% of the obstacles that we face in life are not mind-made. Only 1% or less than that. 99% of these problems or obstacles or patterns are what we are creating for ourselves. So how to come out of these patterns? A pattern is something which is synonymous to habit, psychological habit. Thinking the same old rotten thought, which gravitates us down, which pulls us down. We are energizing, we are fueling this, galvanizing these patterns by way of thinking repeatedly. The more we think the same thought again and again, the more we get rotten. And this habit is turning into a belief system. We believe that we are stupids when we are actually not. We believe that we are fearful. We believe that we have so many types of guilt. We believe that we have done so many mistakes and are unable to come out of it. We believe that life is a mess. All this because of this repetitive thought patterns. Each thought, when it is repeated, turns into a habit. And a habit over a period of time turns into an attitude. The attitude over a period of time turns into a belief system. So belief system is nothing but a core thought which has been habituated, turned into attitude, and turned into a strong belief system. So it is a degree of thinking, it is a degree of repetition, frequency of repetition, which has converted a thought into a belief system. A simple, trivial thought, which we never try to focus just because of its triviality, just because it is so small, we have overlooked it, we have neglected it. And all these fears, guilt, repetitive karmic patterns are because of our own overlooking nature, because of our own lazy and negligent nature. When all thoughts need to go through this scanning eye of Hara, the scanning eye of this consciousness, centered consciousness, we are allowing, instead of allowing all these thoughts pass through the scanning functionality of Hara, we are overlooking them. A child never overlooks any single thought. A child is never negligent with any of his feeling and thought. A child listens to the voice of the mind, every wave that is passing through the cerebral bowl, everything that is passing through his emotional body, everything that is passing through, he is very conscious and very clear. And slowly he is becoming adult by way of overlooking them, by way of being negligent towards them. And what is negligent, what is overlooked, what is not passing through the scanning membrane of Hara, that turns into a pattern. And we need to come out of it. We come out of it in a reverse engineering way. The belief system has to turn into attitude, the attitude has to turn into habit, habit has to turn into thought, and thought has to be removed. By way of acquiring investigative type of consciousness, otherwise called as conscience, The investigative nature of consciousness is called as conscience, Sakshibhuta. That is investigating I. Once that investigative I is triggered, stimulated, everything has to pass under this radar of consciousness. Without any inclination, without the feeling of eliminating it, without trying to be something or someone different, accepting everything that is wrong, even the wrongness is so deep and bad, accepting everything that is right. Accepting everything that is right is very easy for us, but accepting everything that is wrong is not at all easy. We don't like to accept ourselves as stupids, unfortunately. When you are able to or willing to accept your stupidity, the degree of stupidity, yes, you open this investigative eye of consciousness. You open this functionality of investigating yourself impartially, without any prejudice, without any bias, seeing things as they are. So for this, certainly meditation is required. Slowing of the mind is required. When your mind becomes slow, everything that is deeper in the layers of mind opens up slowly, layer by layer. Once you move from layer to layer, you find that there is nothing that is there as a foreign body. Everything is what you have created for yourself. So layer by layer peeling off is more important, from outer to inner, periphery to center. Unless we reach the nucleus, the center of consciousness. We need to develop something called as masterly thinking, what I would like to call as nuclear thinking, thinking from the nucleus. When you think from the nucleus, the center of yourself, you see everything clearly. You will never miss anything. Every cloud of thought, every wisp of the thought, every wave of the thought has to pass through your conscious eye. Then you will understand. And slowly, everything eliminates by itself. You don't have to eliminate anything. You just laugh at yourself. The ability to laugh at yourself without any joke, seeing yourself as stupid, is the greatest way of eliminating all these belief systems. We will first sit for meditation now, and slowly we'll try to understand how to remove these patterns totally. Kindly sit straight as comfortably as possible. Clasp your hands like this, one over the bow, so that we create this oval. This oval sits exactly at the hara area. It's otherwise called as cosmic mudra or Brahma mudra. And watch your breath. Close your eyes. Drop your shoulders. When you inhale, abdomen raises. When you exhale, abdomen goes within. For most of the people, the consciousness is stuck either in the head or heart. Either people mess up with their thoughts or mess up with their feelings. And they're dominant either in head or in heart, mostly. Either people think excessively or feel excessively. Elimination of this excess happens with exhalation part of the breath. Anything that is excess has to be relinquished. Every type of excess has to be eschewed. Because of this excess in thinking and feeling, the breath has become erratic. The breath has become erroneous. The rate and rhythm of the breath has been dominated by this excess thinking and feeling. Every time we think more, every time we feel more, the breath has become much more erratic. The system is confused. The internal homeostasis has been deranged. And this can be rectified by simple, passive, relaxed attention on the breath. And let the movement of the breath be observed in the lower abdomen, otherwise called as hara, the center of your being. What is there in the lower abdomen? Physically, just some abdominal organs like bladder, uterus, Lord's bowels, etc., spine. But non-physically, it is a place where the head and heart meet. Because our dominant nature of either head orientation or heart orientation, we don't know how to merge with the opposite. Head should meet the heart and heart should meet the head. The balance begins. And everything becomes slow. We have to be slow inside. We have to be passive inside. We have to be totally relaxed inside. Of the so many functions of the consciousness, thinking is one domain. Feeling is another domain. These are the functions of consciousness. These two functions need to be systematically streamlined. And this is possible only through effortless ways. Please understand this point, effortless ways. Never with effortful ways. never with any expectation mode. It is possible with the help of learning mode. Unless you shift gears from expectation to learning, nothing really progresses. Change your gear from expectation to learning, expectation to investigation. Investigate. Investigate what? Investigate yourself. How these thoughts are coming. What is the origin? What is the primordial thought? What is the primitive prototype thought from which everything emerged? From which all these patterns, which you think need to be removed, emerged? We seek patterns for the sake of comfort and safety. We seek patterns to be secure. We seek patterns because we live in the corridors of known. As we subconsciously think, feel, and believe that unknown arenas of consciousness might be more frightening. They're not frightening. The unknown arenas of consciousness are more divine, more awesome, beautiful. And that is our treasure. Real treasure. Only treasure. One has to raise to this understanding of going deeper and deeper into oneself makes us find our own treasure inside. And it is purely individual affair. You have to do it for yourself. DIY. We do so many DIY things in the outside world. But the most important DIY is working on oneself. Most important, and everyone has to do it without exception. When you have to do it, every time, every moment, you have to be in this temper of learning, in this temper of investigation, in the temper of chasing and hunting dynamically. Patterns are static phenomena. Patterns make us move in the known tracks. So much so that most of the brain cells are not at all useful to us. All our glucose, ATPs are going to only to the brain cells which are active in the vicinity of these known tracks of mental patterns. The rest of the neurons are not receiving as much glucose, as much ATP, as much energy as these neurons are receiving. To speak from physical point of view. Let the breath be smooth, slow. Every time we inhale, abdomen raises. Every time we exhale, abdomen goes within. I'm very fascinated with the word of Swami Rama, who describes breath as tiladhara, flow of oil. Oil is heavy, dense. than water. Let every inhalation and exhalation be heavy. Moves, because it is heavy, it moves slow. Watch the point where inhalation meets exhalation. Don't sleep. Be attentive on this most important point where inhalation meets exhalation. Keep your mind's eye on the hara. More than first half of exhalation, the second half is very important. During the second half of exhalation, the breath sinks into the hara. And that most moment, the golden moment, the divine moment, the enlightened moment, if at all it is there in the entire cycle of breath, there is a point where exhalation ends to continuous inhalation. Where the exhalation meets inhalation, that is the golden point, the golden moment. You are exactly at the center of your consciousness. Only for this moment, the entire cycle has to be attentively, relaxedly watched. Watch your breath like a child with learning temper. Don't try to change any of your patterns. Don't try to control any of your thoughts. Just be watchful. What if I'm stupid? This is my life. And I'm not dependent on anyone. There is no need to bother about others' opinions and judgments, including your own opinions and judgments on yourself. The learning mode, what I'm calling it as investigation mode, should also be called as the stupid mode. Please accept totally, sincerely, that you are a stupid. When we feel that we are stupid, we don't have to prove anything powerful to anyone. We don't try to prove anything. We don't try to make a point. We are absolutely immune to others' opinions and judgments because we already accepted our stupidities. Because we accepted that we are already stupids. This very acceptance leads you move into yourself further and further. This is the attitude one has to cultivate diligently, regularly, on a daily basis. Elimination and erasing of these patterns immediately start beginning when you accept that you are stupid. At the drop of the hat, the soil loosens. You become loose, free. Some unknown freedom starts creeping into yourself. By the time you truly, emotionally accept that you're stupid, this is the greatest way of going within. This attitude stops us thinking and living for others. We are here to think and live for ourselves. Totally myself, yourself. Howsoever thick and dense your mental clouds are, still be watchful, still be attentive, still be relaxed, passive, totally passive. No active concentration is required here. No stringent, effortful modes are required here. No difficult practices are required here. Everything happens with the element of ease. Please understand this. Everything progresses only with the element of ease. Create the environment of ease inside by way of cultivating the element of passivity and relaxedness. Be mentally relaxed. Be emotionally relaxed. You must be doubly attentive during exhalation phase, because you are sinking into the hara. Every time you exhale, you are sinking into the hara. And by the time exhalation ends, you are exactly at the core of your consciousness. When you exhale, abdomen goes within slowly, smoothly, like flow of oil. Howsoever frustrated you are, irritated you are, depressed you are, desperate you are, for any reason, still be attentive. Relaxedly attentive. The day will come when you laugh at all your obsessions. The day will come when you laugh at all your possessions, which you think you have. The day will come when you laugh at all your stupid thoughts, stupid fears, all types of stupidities. You laugh deeply. That laugh has got insight. The laughing Buddha is not laughing at others. He is laughing at himself. Every time a thought comes unconsciously to him, he laughs. Every time he falls unaware, he laughs. He laughs because people are calling him Buddha and he thinks that he is stupid because he's not able to be aware of one trivial thought. He laughs for that. Laughing at oneself makes our lives more simpler. Laughing at oneself makes our lives more easy, more natural. Because we are not bothered about others' opinions. We are least bothered about others' judgments, their comments, good or bad. We are interested in only one thing, whether all thoughts are going through my scanning eye or not. That's all. Old or new. Every feeling that I feel should pass through my scanning eye. Otherwise called as conscience. Conscience is the eye of consciousness. The witnessing part of consciousness, the witnessing functionality of consciousness is called as conscience, sakshi. Witnessing should be continuous and it has to be cultivated. Witnessing element of consciousness has to be cultivated with ease. The attributes required for this cultivation are ease, inner passivity, the attitude of slowness, the attitude of relaxedness. These attributes we need to hone, we need to cultivate. Slowly, slowly. Not for proving to others, not for any exhibitionist type of attitudes, only for ourselves. Let us live for ourselves. Myself, yourself, that's all. No one else is important in the world except yourself. Keep watching the breath. Every time you inhale, abdomen moves forward. Every time you exhale, abdomen goes within. By this time, your breath must have become more easy. By this time, there are no jerks in the breath. The frequency is streamlined. It has become more heavy. Moving smoothly without any turbulence. Watch the terminal point of exhalation, how it is transforming into inhalation, that particular moment. In every breath, you can find the moment of enlightenment at this point. terminal spot of exhalation, the bridging spot between exhalation and inhalation. Self-cultivation is the key here. Every day you have to plow the soil of mind, weed out the thoughts. Most of the thoughts are unnecessary and unimportant, unwanted, uninvited, useless, energy draining. We have been habituated to work against ourselves, unfortunately. We're all working to go against ourselves, against our own growth of consciousness, against our evolution of consciousness. The path is inwardly spiral. It's not linear. We move in a spiral way, like a DNA helix, from periphery to the center. There is a pathway of growth, spiritual growth. In this pathway, every time we complete one octave, every time we make a full circle inside, we are moving deeper into ourselves, deeper and deeper. And we reach the proto thought, the primordial thought from which entire pattern personality emerged. Our patterns make our personalities, nothing else. In fact, the pattern is equal to personality. Definable when we are actually not. Describable when we are actually not. We have become more definable and describable because of its patterns, otherwise called as personality. We are undefinable, indescribable entities. No one can describe the nature of consciousness. Every description cannot be full and total and complete. Every time we define ourselves, describe ourselves, we are making fool out of ourselves. Many people say and claim that till many days I was very intelligent, now I have become suddenly stupid. Everybody is making stupid out of oneself. We have unnecessarily triggered the sleeping functionality of consciousness. When the investigative functionality of consciousness needs to be triggered, we are triggering the sleep part of consciousness. We are choosing sleep part of consciousness by way of our methods of relaxation. We are seeking external methods of relaxation. Where we actually should make relaxation as an attitude. Relaxation is equal to fertility of the soil. Unless the soil is fertile, seeds cannot become saplings and plants and trees. Similarly, the mind has to be fertile. We have to nourish it, nurture it with the help of attention, with the help of inner ease. Constant attention, constant inner ease. As much as we can, as regularly as we can, as consciously as we can. There are no examinations and mark reports, the path of evolution. There is no examiner here. If at all there is an examiner, you are the examiner. And you are the examination as well. Where there are no marks and judgments, just examine, that's all. That is the difference between the social reality and spiritual reality. The social reality, everything is questionable. Everything has to be analyzed. When it comes to spiritual reality, there are no marks, there are no judgments. Just examine for the sake of examining, that's all. Examining oneself without any expectation leads to elimination of all types of self-defeating karmic patterns. Please understand this. Examination of oneself without any expectation is the real evolution of consciousness. Self-examination. With the fire of consciousness, we should have that fire in the belly to examine and burn all these patterns. Pattern itself is karma, nothing else. Karma is nothing but the mental patterns. Karma is nothing but the emotional patterns. When you de-patternize yourself, when you decondition yourself, no more karma. There is no karma. There can never be any suffering for any type of your wrong thought, deed, or feeling. Jnana of the karmanam. Jnana is this. Elevating oneself to examining mode is called as jnana for me. Keep watching your breath. The nose and navel in one straight line. The breath by this time must have become very easy, simple, rhythmic. Please Keep watching the golden moment where the exhalation meets the inhalation. Slowly open your eyes, physical eyes, but your mind's eye should be onto your hara. Your consciousness must be internalized and centered. Yes, please. If anyone has any questions to ask, anyone has any inputs to give, most welcome.
Sir, good evening, sir. This is Manoj.
Yes, Manoj.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the information and input. It was really helpful. I mean, I was going through some physical pains, and as you know, right, some surgery. I mean, a couple of months back happened. But yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, so karmic was, of course, I mean, the new word you have given. But yeah, I mean, something, similar kind of thoughts and similar kind of patterns, and it is adding up, and actually was taking me into a deep root kind of thing where was tangled and was not able to come out. But I mean, your discussion and this session really gave me a lot of clarity, and how out of fear, I mean, those thoughts are coming, and how I need to calm down. Really, I got a clarity. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the session.
Thank you. Pain is a great teacher. Physical or psycho-emotional, is a great teacher. Pain is the surest indication that something is wrong, either in physical body or mental body. The word patient came from Latin pena, which means pain. The word pain came from Latin pena, which means pain. We say patience pays. One who is patient, he will be paid with the help of awards and rewards. Patience is a painful affair. That's why the word patient and patience both came from same word, pena, that is pain. The more you are watchful of your pain, either physical pain or emotional pain, without expectation of coming out of it, please understand this. Just keep watching, keep examining, you don't lose anything, right? Surprisingly, very interestingly, pain subsides. Not only pain subsides, you go into the origin of pain, you understand the origin of pain, the root of the pain, whatsoever. The insight opens up, the Satori opens up. Gurdjieff, a great master, George Ivanovich Gurdjieff, Armenian Russian spiritual scientist, master at its core. He used to undergo fractures consciously, bone fractures multiple times consciously through accidents, and gets bedridden and watches himself without painkillers. The pain, he keeps watching the pain. He immensely dives into the core of the pain. The pain ceases to be painful. The pain transforms into insight. That was a type of meditation he used to practice in many phases of his life. Very interesting, right? Consciously undergoing fractures only to make pain as a tool for enlightenment. Pain is a tool for enlightenment, in fact. The body may be screaming, the mind may be screaming because of pain, but if you put attention to it passively, you'll find something beautiful. Don't be really bothered, depressed, or desperate with any type of painful things in life. Pain gives us immunity. Unless there is pain, there is no gain, right? Pains are important. To practice patience, to have an insight possible with the help of pain alone. These are not obstacles, but portals of entry into yourself. Thank you, Manoj.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Anything else, please? Any inputs, queries?
Sir, I'm Veeraswamy. Namaste. You're making one statement saying, observe your thoughts without any expectations. For me, I was wondering, because when you actually observe a thought, can there be any expectation at all? Because I see these things happening only, one thing is possible, either you observe or there are expectations. I'm just wondering, can there be an expectation when you are actually observing it, meaning when you are maintaining the distance between the thought pattern and yourself, right? Is it possible that there can be an expectation?
They are mutually antagonistic.
Yeah.
The more we observe, the more we examine. Expectations stay at periphery. If you don't observe, examine, expectations become the core. So it is like, Edison or any other scientist may sit with the idea of inventing something, discovering something. That is expectation, basically. But when it is into real practice of trying different types of filaments, they're not anxious. They're not anxious. Their pulse rate doesn't rise with the help of the aim of inventing bulb. No. They're not desperate. They're not frustrated. Edison tried 2000 times. I heard he has even tried with his wife's hair as filament of the bulb. His wife, Mary, has a very thick hair, very healthy, thick hair. Even he tried with the wife's hair, whether this is going to burn and gives us light. He tried with 2000 types of elements to lighten the bulb. Finally, with charcoal, the first light was lit for 3 hours. So there is no expectation and excitement as well. Investigate why. Investigating the unknown. You don't know what is going to happen. There's tremendous curiosity, enthusiasm. Enthusiasm to explore, enthusiasm to examine is our real strength, nothing else. A child is always evergreen, enthusiastic. Enthusiasm is strength. Enthusiasm is our real God. The word enthusiasm came from Theo, God, on the way to reach God. If you lose enthusiasm, we are losing our godliness inside. So examination means enthusiastic examination. It is not just examination. Observation means enthusiastic observation, curious observation, childlike curiosity must be there. And playful mode of observation. There is no stressful mode of observation or strainful mode of observation. It is easy way, child's way, enthusiastic way, curious way, relaxed way, playful way, as if we are playing games. When we play games, we don't get tensed up unless we are in international arena. Unless we are put in observation mode by someone else. When we really enjoy the play, we don't expect we enjoy the play, that's all, right? The more you enjoy the play, the more you enjoy examining yourself enthusiastically, the more beauty you are going to see, the great treasure you are going to see for yourself. So expectation, observation, they are mutually antagonistic. They have inverse proportional relationship. They're opposite. They work against each other. They pull each other's legs. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So next week, what should we discuss about? Any proposals?
Something for you to consider, sir. The practical issue. By now, most of the people who keep attending this kind of things for some time, I would guess that most of us understand the theory part of it. It's all there, right? But I think the one problem everybody faces is the incessant thoughts. They are not able to apply the brakes on them. Only when they come out of it, they realize, oh, I was not able to. What is it that is actually stopping people from being able to apply the knowledge that they gain through so many sessions of like this, so much book reading or watching videos and all that? They are not able to apply it when it is needed. It's like you train me in first aid, give me a bandage roll, all that kit. But when I'm injured, I forget about it. I keep crying. And you tell me, I trained on that. I trained you on that. Take it out from your pocket and apply. I don't do that. So what is it that is really, for some it is easy, for some it is difficult, for some they're never able to achieve it. What is it that is causing this difference between people, right? Why are we not able to do that at the time of actually when the need arises, we are not able to apply the knowledge? Is there something which we are not able to realize?
Everybody is in war with oneself. That is the problem. Everybody thinks that is a battlefield, fighting with oneself.
Is it also the curse of Karan?
Also, pardon?
Curse of Karan. Remember in Mahabharata, Karan was the illegitimate child of Kunti, the eldest Pandav. He was cursed, na, that when you really need the knowledge, you'll not be able to apply it. Because he got the knowledge, from Parshuramji. Sorry, I don't have light. My tube light is not working. That's why my face is so diffused. But how he could not apply the knowledge when he needed to. So that's what probably Veera Swamiji is saying, that how to when you're it's very nice to tell other people that, oh, do this, do that, and even to tell ourselves. But when you actually have a broken leg or something, at that time you're not able, you just cry, I'm in pain, please help me. You don't want other people to come and help you.
Yeah.
So maybe
Let me
that's what he's talking. Maybe that is what he's trying to say. Are you saying that, Veeraji?
Yes, madam. Not only that, see the physical, emotional, very situational, right? When you are losing your temper, for example, or you have some kind of loss, people don't look at their all this spiritual knowledge and apply that, right? But they know that, but at that in the moment of that particular scenario situation in the presence of a person, they behave as they are, as they have been, right? What is it that is holding them back from actually applying their knowledge? Is there something which we are not able to really understand that one piece? If we can crack that out, yes, possibly, yeah, it's easy.
see, as Robitaji told, the example of Karna. Let me share an insight with all of you. Let me take it as a chance to share something else. Karna, I know the word meaning of the word Karna, a person who has long ears. But unfortunately, he doesn't listen.
That's new to us, news
Yeah.
to us.
He doesn't listen to the voice of silence. He doesn't listen to the voice of the divine coming from within. Most of the people are like Karnas. They won't listen to the voice of the divine coming from within. Most of the people are like that. The ears are there to listen. The functionality of consciousness, something called a hearing, listening. Hearing is different from listening, right? Hearing means you are listening to sounds. Listening means understanding what is being heard. Unless you understand, it is meaningless. Unless there is attempt to understand, it is meaningless to hear. Unless there is enthusiasm to understand and listen and understand, it is meaningless to hear anything. Karma is one classic example. He didn't pay attention to the voice of silence, voice of divine coming from within. Most of the people are like that. So they have disconnected from the source. That is the only reason. Practical means the practical part is what one has to do for oneself. No one can really help. Assistance is possible. When you move a little forward, someone can little pull you up. But unless you move forward, no help can come for your rescue. You must put yourself on the track of evolution of consciousness. You must put yourself. The momentum appears, the momentum may require little more energy, but you have to force yourself in the beginning. Unless you put on yourself on the trails, unless you put on the track of evolution, nothing really manifests. It requires patience, as I told repeatedly, patience, ease, passiveness, relaxedness, these are the key mantras. So I will send the topic of my choice, whatever comes from within, I will share with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, everyone. Let us call it a day. So another 10 minutes, we are going to have a big event from the World United Global Transformation Festival, Mexico. Around 40 speakers are going to participate. They're going to do, but unfortunately in Spanish. So it is going to start in another exactly 10 minutes from now.
You know Spanish, sir?
No,
Okay.
I don't know. So I know a very few words. I'm learning from them. So next, like that, we are going to have Global Transformation Festival for each and every country of the world. We already completed Spain. We are going to do with Mexico now. And all the dates are published in the website, theworldunited.org. So in India also, we are going to have it on 17th of December this year with hundreds of speakers from India. So let us learn bit by bit, no swallowing. Let us chew it. Let us learn bit by bit. You have to move like a snail, slowly, Slowness leads to stillness. No hurry, no worry. Everything has to be slow, slow, slow. Slow is the mantra. To be slow is great. Thank you very much. Thanks all. Thanks
Thank
everyone.
you. Thank you.
See you on
Thanks,
next Saturday.
thanks,
Same time.
thanks you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.